What's going on, everybody? I am Will the Greatest, and I am the host for the Ace Podcast, where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but most importantly, pop culture entertainment. And my audio is going to sound a little weird because I'm currently sitting in my office and not in the space where I regularly record. But with me today, I have my boy Quantum X Paradox, aka Marvel Luke. How are you doing today, good sir?
Oh man, it's been quite a day. We got the PS5 reveal, the price
Mm-hmm.
and some new games. I'm very hyped and excited. I can't wait to talk more about it.
But let's talk about something cool, something fun, something hip, something with it. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 showcase that went on today, thanks to Sony. And ooh boy, there's a lot to talk about. I think this year with the showcases is probably the first time I've really paid attention to like bigger gaming news. Like I follow gaming news casually, looking at
Yeah.
new releases and stuff that's going to come out and things that pique my interest. This is the first time I'll say everything that was announced or brought up, I was either excited for or at least aware of.
Yeah.
There are a couple things that like I wasn't as interested in, but it was only like two games, and even still, they're not like bad games. It was Call of Duty and the one with like it was the side scroller that was like the sequel game, not Mad World, but something like that. Odd World.
Oddworld. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are excited for that. But I mean, what did you think as far as like initial thoughts go? Because I'm looking at like the games I was excited for, and I made a list, and it's already like 6, 7 games long.
um, hmm. I'm excited for a lot of them,
Yeah,
honestly. Definitely, I would have to say definitely Miles Morales. Oh,
absolutely.
and can we talk about that teaser that they just threw in at the end of the showcase? They
Oh,
just
for God of War
got
2.
yeah, God of War Ragnarok. Oh my
Which,
God.
which, mind
Yes.
you, I know of, again, that was one of the ones that I only knew of passively, but even I was excited because I know how the newest one ends and what it's setting up, and I know how like Kratos' story has been. So I'm like, shit, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh
lot
man, I'm so
coming in
hyped.
2021. Like a
Um,
lot coming.
can can we kind of just touch on the new Resident Evil franchise too? I think it's really cool what they're doing with the new Resident Evils, especially with the success and how good Seven was. But
Yeah.
Eight just looks like it looks like they're going down the soul genre, which I'm kind of into. I kind of dig it,
hmm I
even though I
I
think
feel
it's going to be kind of like
go ahead.
no, I'm just saying it's going to be like a first person game still, like Seven was, and I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah.
And just like the
I don't hate it.
aesthetic, I don't know, there's something about it that feels Lovecraftian too that I really dig.
Does it kind of
Um,
remind you of 4, but like more Lovecraft?
but more Lovecraft. You're absolutely right. It does feel more like four. It almost feels like a homage or a like a love letter to four.
hmm
Four was very beloved, so
Right.
really the first four games were one, two, three, and four, and
Five.
Code Veronica too was.
People like Code
Uh,
Veronica?
oh yeah. Believe it or not, there's a niche for that.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I mean, there's some other stuff that new Deathloop game kind of looks
I
that looks pretty cool.
so I've been excited for Deathloop since the summer announcement when they initially announced it. I'm like, this looks really fucking cool. It even though it
Yeah,
kind of looks like Dishonored, it still looks really cool. I like the concept. It's two black people leading a video game. What?
yeah, yeah.
Granted, they're trying to kill each other. I mean, like
Can
a
we?
black woman with natural hair and a
Oh
black dude.
man,
Like I like the concept too. It's really cool. And the
yeah. And
aesthetic.
I also wanted to touch a little bit on Demon's Souls too. Man,
Okay,
that
I- so I
remake
haven't
looks
played
so good.
Soulsborne games, but it looks so good.
If you're gonna play any of them, just start with Bloodborne.
I was about to say
Honestly,
I wanted to start with Bloodborne, but
oh Bloodborne's so much fun, dude.
I'm waiting
So
to
much
try
fun.
and maybe stream it with my best friend at some point.
There you go. There you go.
But
It
I do want
it's
to
one
play
of
it
those
because it always
games.
looked really good. That was the one I wanted
It,
to start with.
it's one of those games you really have to pay attention to the lore, and I'm gonna argue that that's probably the most Lovecraftian version of a Souls game to exist yet.
That makes sense.
Um,
No, that tracks
yeah.
in terms of aesthetic
Um,
and
I
like
mean,
story.
I mean, they're straight up an eldritch horror in the game. There is a Lovecraftian deity
Mhm.
that kind of like corrupts Yarnum I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but yeah, it's very Lovecraftian. You even meet, you don't fight it, but you meet it,
Mm-hmm.
and you meet it in a vision. But yeah, it's pretty
Demon
cool,
Souls
man.
looks good. It
Oh,
looks
dude, it just looks so
quite
good.
good.
This looks so good.
Quite good.
I'm so ready. I played that back when I was a kid. I'm so ready. I actually haven't touched it since. I beat it when I was a
Yeah,
kid, and I remember throwing my controller around for days on end trying to get through it.
I didn't realize that Demon Souls was like over 10 years old at this point, or about 10 years
Yeah,
maybe. I'm just
yeah,
like, God, it's been that long.
yeah. I mean, it's getting up there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so ready, dude. My
What else do we
mind, my
have on?
body.
Yep.
Anyways, what now?
Um, I'm thinking about what else we have because I think we got a good amount of them. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition had me blown the fuck away. I was going
Yeah.
crazy in our chat because I was so excited.
I don't
Um, I-
exactly know what special edition means though for this game. Is there going to be DLC or is there going to be more story?
so
What
it's
exactly
look.
does this mean?
So what's been confirmed so far is that we're getting playable Virgil, which is what everybody was asking for. You're getting legendary Dark Knight Sparta mode, and Turbo mode for the PS5 and Xbox Series X editions. For all the non-new gen editions, including PC, which kind of sucks, you're just getting the playable Virgil DLC, is what it looks like so far. I'm assuming the special edition also has new story elements. They show new cutscenes in the trailer. So I'm assuming that there's
Ah,
some new
I
story
see.
elements. What I'm hoping for is also there was a rumor a long time ago about something called Ladies Night as a DLC where you get to play as Trish and Lady and do some stuff in the story. I'm hoping we get that. But what they showed of the gameplay of Virgil, fucking sick. Like, I
Oh
mean, there's
yeah,
already mods to play as Virgil and for turbo mode, but people want like the official release version, and it looks really good. He does some really creative shit. There's a part where he like commits seppuku and turns into V again, and it looks like a super move. I'm assuming, but God, it looks so good. It looks so good. Makes me want to go back and play 5 again. It's been a while.
oh yeah.
Such a good game. Um,
Oh, I'm ready, dude.
God,
I'm
okay.
ready.
Um,
And the
what
price?
else?
Can we
So
talk
we
about the
got.
price a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about the price and then talk about the other games. So the price is exactly what I thought it would be, and it doesn't bother
Yeah.
me one bit. I was imagining it's PlayStation's been weirdly consistent. They're about $100 per number of the system. So like
Yeah.
PS4 was I think 399. The so the disc version of the PS5 is 499, and the discless
Hmm.
version is $100 difference at 399. I'm completely fine with that. I'm getting the disc
Me too.
version. Um, that's
Oh yeah, me
that's
too.
preference. I prefer physical media. I like buying the occasional deluxe edition. It also helps save space on my hardware by having a physical copy. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I'm perfectly fine with this. My brother texted me. He's like, "Dang, that's a lot of money, isn't it?" I'm like, "No, it's really not for what you're getting and the current
So
like state of the game
yeah.
industry kind of necessity." Okay, so let's talk about the price of the consoles and let's talk about game prices because we were talking about that before we got started too, and I wanted
Hmm.
to touch on the whole $70 price tag thing.
Okay. So I definitely think that the prices are exactly what we all expected them to be. And I think that accounting for inflation, that's not a bad price because they're at this price, they're
No, it's
taking a
like
loss.
535. Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking a loss at the price that they are now, but they definitely learned their mistakes from the PS3 days of like, do not exceed $500. You
Hmm.
cannot exceed $500 for a console because you might as well just buy a gaming laptop at
Right.
that point, or and they incentivized us even further with they're releasing all of these ported games to the PS5 if for
Hmm.
free if you have PS Plus. So like a
Hmm.
bunch of games, which is really really cool. I think they're kind of trying to counter the new Xbox Game Pass for the Series X. But man,
I think it's
man, this is
that
just crazy.
I think it's that, but also the lack of kind of when you're going at launch, you're not going to have a crazy amount of games for people to like pick up at launch. So I think that also
No,
helps soften that blow by having um,
yeah.
other
And did you
other
notice
PS4
that
games.
Did you notice that Spider-Man Miles Morales also said holiday 2020? It didn't say at launch, which was like
No, it did,
suspicious.
and
A lot of
it's
people
been
were like, why doesn't it
yeah, it
say
said
at
holiday
launch? It's
for a
like,
while.
yeah. Yeah. So
So
I don't think
probably
that's coming day one.
no, not no. I'm assuming Christmas, a week before Christmas or so to give people time to get their pre-orders in. I'm assuming Christmas time since it comes out since the system comes out in November. I know special edition the DMC5 is going to be on digital at launch and the physical version coming later. But we don't have a crazy amount of games coming at launch. And mentioning Miles Morales, apparently, I'm hoping this is true. There's news that's come out that there's going to be not backward compatibility, but like dual release for some of these
Yeah.
games. So
Yeah.
it's saying that Miles Morales and Horizon 2 are also going to come out for PS4, which makes me so goddamn happy. I was terrified that I could only play Miles Morales on PS4. I mean on PS5. So that means like I was gonna buy the game probably at launch, but it means I'd have to wait until I get the system. I've done it before, but I kind of hate that. Like I gotta wait until I would have like $500 lying around because I know I'm
Yeah.
not getting it at launch.
I'm not going to lie. I'm probably, see, traditionally, I usually wait like 6 months to a year. However, with the PS4,
No, I agree.
I did go buy it day one with the PS4. Um, I waited for the Xbox. In fact, I don't even have my Xbox anymore. I sold it because I never used it. But
Mhm.
with this one, I'm actually really tempted just to like use my credit card and buy it. I'm really tempted
I
to.
I completely understand why. Like it even tempted me, but I'm just like the only reason I'm not is because it doesn't have it has a library of games I haven't played, but it doesn't have a library yet of new games.
Mm,
2021, however, come 2021, because there's a lot of shit dropping, like a lot
yeah.
of things that I want to play.
Oh
That
yeah.
that might you might push me because it took me I want to say 2 to 3 years. I told myself I wasn't buying a PS4 until Kingdom Hearts 3 got a release date, and it did. So I think that Black Friday I got mine. So it had been a good like 2 3 years into its release cycle at that point. But
Mm.
kind of yeah. And let's talk about Miles Morales a little bit since you brought it up. That excellent. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
it's
yeah. 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 It has like ray trace reflections, higher frame rate. Um, I think the game's running in 4K. I think
I,
is what I
you're
heard.
probably right. Um,
4K or 1440p, but I know it's definitely not a standard 1080p game.
no,
So
it looks good. Combat looks really. I like it because you can tell the difference between Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
dude,
So like the
the style's
style is
different too.
good.
Yeah.
The way it's
Dude,
lit,
oh my god, in
the plot, the
those
little we know
trap
about the
beats,
plot.
those trap beats when he was fighting.
Oh, it's so good.
I hope that plays every time we get into a fight. I really do.
I'm imagining so. Mind you, the original game also has very good music, but
It does.
man,
But that's more like that's more like a symphony style music.
yeah, and
You know.
it fits their characters. I mean, I was watching some of Shofu stream highlights, and it got to Miles, and it's like him and like three other. They're all black dudes. So it's like three of them, and it gets to the first opening part of the combat sequence where he just launches into like five people, and you just hear everybody go damn, and I'm like, yeah, and that's how it
Jeez.
should feel. That's how the game plays. It looks good. Setting Roxxon and Tinker, I think, is appropriate villains from like a story
Yeah.
perspective. His mom's running.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess mayor.
like listen, the one criticism I had of the original game is that I felt that the some of the bad guys were way too repetitive and a little too generic, and especially the
Hmm.
DLC. My God, I actually did not like any of the DLCs.
I got a
Um,
love hate relationship with the DLCs.
okay, I can't
The
stand the
gameplay is
DLCs
fun.
honestly, but
The story's kind of weak.
yeah, yeah.
I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, so like I can't stand the DLCs, and like I kind of just hope that it's not going to be more of the same of that. I have a little faith in them. I mean, they definitely did listen to the criticisms, especially on Twitter,
Right.
of the first game. So, um, I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. But one thing I did wanted to touch on,
Hmm.
I was hoping during the showcase they would talk a little bit more about like how the external hard drive scenario is going to work out. Maybe they
Oh
were going to show
fuck! They haven't said
maybe
anything about that. You're right.
all they said was like I think Mark Cerny said this like last year is that like, oh, we're working with a bunch of companies to make sure that like we're going to have our own
Yeah.
Sony external SSD that you can buy directly from Sony, and we're going to lease those that like the patent out to
Right.
certain third party companies, but they're going to have to like meet our like speed standards, right, when it comes
Who
to
do
hard
you
drives.
Who do you think's gonna
Like
get it? I'm thinking WD, maybe someone at Amazon.
yeah, Western Digital is most likely going to get it. I don't know really. Seagate's already locked in with Xbox, and see that's like one of the things I was going to talk about is like, well, shit, dude, we know so much. Like Xbox has showed us a complete teardown of the
Hmm.
Series S and the Series X. We've seen their proprietary external hard drives, which actually I really like the fact that they're just they remind me of the old memory cartridges that you had to pop in your old PS1 and PS2. Like
Oh
I
damn,
kind of
really?
miss, yeah, yeah, those Seagate drives, but so
Yeah.
they announced it, they showed it to us, but the one thing I don't like is one, it's proprietary. So it's only you can only get it through Seagate. And two, the other thing I don't like is they're like outrageously priced. I mean like a 1 terabyte external SSD that you
Hmm.
pop into your Series S or X is going to be like 199, or it's like 200 or 250, something
Hmm.
ridiculous, something absolutely ridiculous. Like that's the one thing I hate about proprietary memory. I mean,
God.
Sony did this.
Yeah.
Sony did the same shit with the PSP and the PS Vita. Um, Now,
I mean, it
what I
killed it with the
like
Vita though, because like
again,
PSP you could do a little bit flexibility, but Vita,
again,
God, that one was awful.
where where is it going to fit? Like, I hope it's just not another scenario like like on like I just have like the Gen 1 PS4, and like for my external
Hmm.
drive, like I just have to plug it in like via USB port, and like I don't want to have to do that for the PS5. I would rather it be like the old memory slot style, like what Xbox is doing, and you just get like an external like cartridge, and it's whether it's like a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte, and you just pop it in. Like I would love that so much more. It's either that or they're going like the PS4 Pro route, where there's just like a tray in the back, right? And you just
Hmm.
like take this little tool and you can just pop the hard drive out. But like I hope
Hmm.
they don't go that route. They didn't talk about any of that. They didn't show us a teardown, and like I was kind of expecting to hear a little bit about both of those, and we just didn't get that.
Um, so when do you think they're gonna start doing that? I'm guessing
Who
October when the
knows?
date of release comes closer. I can't imagine. I'm imagining maybe mid October, only because even for the people that have pre-ordered, you probably, unless you're for some reason getting every single game that's coming out, which
Mm.
I don't know how deep your pockets are to do that. I feel like at the time of release, you won't need an external hard drive. Um, because
I don't know,
it's
man.
hard for me to,
It
but
sucks because
it's a good thing to
the
have though. Like you
the
make a good point.
PS5 isn't even a 1 terabyte hard drive. That's what
I
sucks.
kn- that part, yeah, that part sucks. I'm hoping maybe in future versions they make it bigger,
I
like
wish they
they
would have just
used to
did
do
what
with
they did
the.
with the PS3. Is like, hey, if you want like a 2 terabyte hard drive from us, it's just going to cost like $100 more. You know what I
Right,
mean?
fucking exactly. That's what I do with my PS4. I got the terabyte one on purpose because
Yeah.
I'm like fuck. I look like getting only 800 terabytes for a system that I know I'm gonna use and need space for. But
It's just crazy, man. I don't know.
it's crazy.
I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to mention was Final Fantasy 16 got announced. It looks really good. Don't have a date, but the gameplay looks good. And just briefly before we move on, Hogwarts Legacy, despite fucking J.K. Rowling being a massive transphobe, so I know I have to buy this game secondhand. It looks good. I'm
I'm ready
hoping it's
for it.
MMO. I'm like, this is the biggest fuck I've heard about Harry Potter ever.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about Harry Potter games, but I'm just like, wow, this actually looks interesting. Those were two kind of things that surprised me. But Any last thoughts before we move on to the last topic?
I'm ready, man. I'm just
All right.
ready. Oh, I guess we can say that like pre-orders already sold out within 28 minutes of going live.
Yeah, that was insane. Also, pre-orders went live. I
Yeah,
think is the
they
other
they
thing
they
to
went
mention.
live early.
Yeah,
Early.
yeah. But
So,
great job, Sony.
uh,
Oh man, I think that's on that note, I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Where can people find you at, my man? On
you
social.
guys can you guys can find me on Twitter at Quantum X Paradox.
All right. I have been your host, Will, aka Will the Greatest. I am on all social media, including Instagram and YouTube, at Will the Greatest. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at Atlas Comics Elite. If you have any questions, hit us with the hashtag AskAce in our DMs or in my DMs, and we will try and answer it on the show. Don't forget to like the show, follow the show, rate the show wherever you're listening. Please, thank you. We will see you guys next time, maybe with more people, maybe with more news. But be good to yourselves. Have a good one. Peace.